Happy SummerSlam weekend, folks. I am Graham Jason Matthews, and welcome back to the random video blog where every single Friday I give my rambling thoughts in the wrestling world, share some stories, and so on and so forth. But today, we are only 2 days away, 48 hours, baby, until SummerSlam. Let's take a look at the updated countdown here, which I've had going since WrestleMania. That's how long I've had this countdown going till for the last, I don't know how many days. Oh, well over 100. I think maybe, I don't know if it was 200, but well over 150 days. I started that countdown right after WrestleMania this year, and I've had that countdown from WrestleMania, like from Fastlane onward, or whatever it was. But it's crazy, because I knew I was going to WrestleMania, or SummerSlam, rather. Hopefully WrestleMania one day. That's still on the bucket list. But I bought my tickets back in March, and I did a video blog right after WrestleMania, not the Friday after WrestleMania. That's where we talked about AJ Lee's departure here in the video blog. But the week after that, there's a video up here on the channel. Go back and check it out. The Road to SummerSlam Begins Now is what it was titled, where I talked about how the Road to SummerSlam basically started right after WrestleMania. That was when, even back then, we knew what we were getting, what we were in store for come SummerSlam. I knew Brock Lesnar was going to be there as he re-signed with the company. Maybe a Rock appearance, which is also potentially in the cards. I'm not banking on it, but if he showed up on Sunday, you know I'm going to be losing my voice on Sunday in the Barclays Center. But we have such a huge show on tap for Sunday night, and I can't be any more excited for it. We have such, the past few SummerSlams, and I'll talk about that here today, kind of sharing my, past memories of SummerSlam, and not including the ones I've watched on the network, obviously, but it's kind of in a little bit of a mixture of that, but you'll soon find that out. But just the last couple of SummerSlams alone since 2011, in my opinion, have been either good to great to amazing. And I'm really hoping that strong streak of amazing SummerSlams continues this Sunday with the 2015 installment. But yeah, like I said, I got my tickets back in March. They're not the greatest tickets, but I paid well over $100 for each of them, both for mine and for John's, because I just got them at the same time. Because I literally had to race to get those tickets. They went on sale at like 10 o'clock on a Saturday. Maybe, I want to say the 14th. I think March 14th is what it might have been. And then, I had to get the tickets within minutes, because that's how quickly they were selling out. But also, by the way, will be announced today on the Facebook page and Twitter and whatnot. I will be at NXT TakeOver on Saturday as well. So, the weekend, or the week rather, kind of the whole thing, the whole shebang, the whole week before SummerSlam is always awesome. Always a lot of festivities lined up for me personally, WWE, whatever. This year's been no exception. A lot of articles going out, Bleacher Report, Next Air Wrestling, Hidden Remote, What Culture, all these other different websites, and I'm very extremely excited for a Sunday night. So without further ado, and by the way, I just want to put this out there as well. I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the video, just something I briefly noticed before I started recording. Try not to listen to these videos with headphones on. I don't know what the issue is, but for some reason, or at least when I listen to my own videos back, trying to test the audio, because sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes I get a lot of feedback, or I get a lot of crackling noises. I don't know if that's just me, or if that's a worldwide thing with my microphone. I don't know. I don't get that when I do Wrestle Rant Radio with the same microphone. I'm using a Yeti microphone, which is great quality. So I don't know why it's happening when I do the videos. Probably because I'm kind of using both the webcam and the microphone. I'm not exactly sure. So if you have that issue, I apologize. Just try not to listen to the video with the with headphones on, because then that only makes it worse. But anyway, though, SummerSlam Memories before Sunday night. I want to share some past memories of the SummerSlams that I've been a part of since my time as a wrestling fan, dating back to 2008. So 2008 SummerSlam, my first official SummerSlam as a fan, as I've talked about here on the channel before. I didn't start buying pay-per-views. The first ever pay-per-view that I bought was Royal Rumble 2010. So for at least a year and a half, almost 2 years, I did not buy pay-per-views. I wouldn't even watch them online or anything like that. Royal Rumble 2010 was the first pay-per-view I've ever seen, period. Before that, I would just either go to the Wikipedia page and check out the results, or WWE.com, or joining on the live coverage on the WWE Universe page, and they used to have that WWE social networking page on their website. I would just join in the live coverage on there, just kind of to see the match-by-match results, and the move-by-move breakdown and stuff like that. But yeah, so that was my first pay-per-view. So of course, SummerSlam 2008. I was away that day. I think I was at the beach with my family or something like that. So I was not home to check out the results on Wikipedia or find them out, as they were happening. So I don't think I set this up this day. I think I had this set up for a while. But at the time, WWE had a text service, and I don't know, maybe it cost money. I have no idea. I just signed up for it regardless. Where you can sign up and you can get free text like, this happened on Raw last night, this happened on ECW. And so I signed up for that, and they were sending me the results of the matches like a half an hour after they already happened. But, still, I wanted to find out what was happening at the show. So we were on our way home from the beach that day, and I just kept on checking my phone to see the results, and all the heels were winning. MVP beat Jeff Hardy. Santino and Beth won the Intercontinental and Women's Championships. Chris Jericho beat the crap out of Shawn Michaels, or his wife, rather. A lot of heel victories at SummerSlam that year, but I loved that show. It wasn't until 2013 I finally watched it back in its entirety on the not on the WWE Network. I found it on like some website or something, and then I watched it back in the network this year and last year. But that's a really, really good show. I don't know if I would go so far to call it underrated, because I think a lot of people recognize how stacked of a show that was. But even for the matches you wouldn't think would deliver, like CM Punk and JBL or Triple H and the Great Khali, it really was a great and thoroughly entertaining show. So love SummerSlam 2008. And I won't talk about the theme songs here. I've talked about that. I did that last week, so if you want to go back and check out that video blog first, the random video blog from last Friday where I ranked my top 5 favorite SummerSlam theme songs in the event's history. So anyway, moving forward here to SummerSlam 2009, again, a pay-per-view I did not watch. But I came home that day. I think I was out for that day, and I came home, and my mom had known that SummerSlam was airing that night, and she was asking why I wasn't watching it, and I said it was like $60. It's on pay-per-view, and of course I didn't buy it. But still, she came home that day with, I think I have it right here. I got this one. I don't know where she was, but she got this at one of the 7-Elevens. Remember these things, the 7-Eleven cups? This is what I missed so much about SummerSlam. This looks like it's from 2000. I mean, that's the old logo right there. They don't have that SummerSlam logo anymore. But yeah, I don't know when it first started. I'm pretty sure they've had it for a long time, because I remember watching that old skit with Booker T and Goldust from 2002, 2003, where they were at 7-Eleven. They were selling the big Gulp Cups for SummerSlam that year. And they did that all the way up to, I think, 2011, because I really wanted to go to big 7-Eleven that year in 2011 to get a big Gulp Cup. And I couldn't. Then 2012, they just stopped selling them, which was very unfortunate. But that was a big part of SummerSlam, the big Gulp Cups. And like I said, I have it right here. I don't drink out of it, but I do put like change and stuff in here, like loose change. But yeah, these things are pretty awesome. But that's probably my fondest memory of SummerSlam 2009. Again, a very, very good show that I have on DVD. I got that for like Christmas one year, or came with like another DVD or something like that. But yeah, I really miss these big Gulp Cups. I really miss these things, and I'm going to try to like buy a few on like eBay if they're really cheap. Try to collect them all. But yeah, that's my memories of SummerSlam 2009. Again, a pay-per-view I did not watch as it happened, of course, but I did follow along with the live coverage on WWE.com as opposed to getting text messages that year. But yeah, SummerSlam 2009, also a very good show. SummerSlam 2010, it always seems like I'm away on the day of SummerSlam, but SummerSlam 2010, I was actually on vacation. I was on my way to Virginia Beach that year, and I was leaving that Sunday. Now, the funny thing about that pay-per-view is that it was really on the border of buying it. And at that point, I'd already bought in Royal Rumble 2010. I knew how much the pay-per-views cost. I think I only paid for half of it, because, I mean, I'm like a freshman in high school. I barely have any money, so I think my mom paid for half of it, and I agreed to pay for, like, the first $25 or whatever it was. But anyway, for SummerSlam 2010, again, not a great show. But before that, though, I was really planning on having like this huge get-together with a number of friends of mine, invite them over, a couple wrestling fans, a couple non-wrestling fans, and have them over for a big SummerSlam party. Little did I know, up until like a couple days before the event, I mean, I never really planned anything, but I learned shortly thereafterwards that I was going away on that Sunday. But before that, though, I was trying to convince my mom to buy SummerSlam for me as kind of like an end of the year school gift, you know what I mean? Like not a graduation gift, but like, oh yeah, I got good grades for my sophomore, freshman year, whatever it was. Would I be able to get SummerSlam? And I think she kind of said yes. She was kind of on the line about it. Even if we didn't go away, I don't think it would have been able to happen. But it didn't really matter anyway, because we were away all night long. We left like the evening of that Sunday, and we didn't get to Virginia Beach, because I live in Connecticut, and Virginia Beach is 8 hours out of the way from where we are, maybe even farther than that, depending on traffic and whatever. So we didn't get there until like the early hours of the next morning. So it took a very long time to get there. And all the while, I'm checking out the results. I think I was reading the live coverage on ProWrestling.net, that app, and I still have it to this day. Those guys are great. That whole website and their live coverage is amazing. But I was following along with the live coverage on my phone, and I just remember not being happy with a lot of the results, like reading the WWE title match ended in DQ, and Taker came back, which was cool. I remember marking out my car when I read out Daniel Bryan had returned to WWE as the seventh and final member of Team WWE. That was awesome. And that was, at that point, I was already planning on meeting him at a Northeast Wrestling show that October. Another video that I've already done here on the channel. That's a completely different story, but that was pretty sick. And I was really pissed to find out that Team WWE had won. I was really, as many of us were hoping, I was really hoping for a Team Nexus victory on that night. Would not, come to fruition, unfortunately. But still, those are my memories of SummerSlam 2010. It wasn't until this year, finally, that I finally watched that show on the WWE Network, which is probably for the better, because it wasn't a great show anyway, so it wasn't like I was missing out on anything. So those are my memories of SummerSlam 2010. I was away once again on the day for SummerSlam. SummerSlam 2011, the first SummerSlam I actually watched live. Back in the days of live streams and all that other shit, when people raced to find websites before the WWE Network, the pain in the ass times. That was the only SummerSlam I did that for, and I'll talk about that why that is in the next couple memories of the following SummerSlams. But for SummerSlam 2011, the first and only SummerSlam I watched online on some shitty website. I was, John and I were going back and forth trying to find a good website, trying to find a good stream to watch a show on. I was extremely excited again. I was trying to plan with John to get together to watch a show. We couldn't make it happen, unfortunately. We did watch Raw together the next night at his place, which was also a great show, and I've talked about that before on Twitter and stuff, that amazing altercation between Punk and Kevin Nash and the mic. That was great. But anyway, SummerSlam 2011, though, probably my favorite SummerSlam as a fan. Not including the ones, even including the ones I've watched on the network, SummerSlam 02, 92, 05, a lot of really good SummerSlams. I don't know, it's really hard to say. We've had a lot of, I don't know if it's my favorite, actually. It's really hard to say, because SummerSlam 2013 and 2014 were both amazing. 08's great. But yeah, SummerSlam 2011 was a fantastic show. That whole summer, I've talked about that here before on the random video blog, here in the video blog, about how that whole summer was probably my favorite summer in wrestling, maybe with the exception of this year, but that whole summer was phenomenal. And that SummerSlam was pretty much the culmination of the entire summer of Punk and everything great that was, everything that was great in WWE at that time. Mark Henry's heel turn, Randy Orton and Christian having amazing outings, CeeLo Green's, Bright Lights Bigger City as the theme song for that show, and the fantastic main event between John Cena and CM Punk, and Del Rio cashing in, Kevin Nash making a return. It was Markout City for me. Love that show. But yeah, SummerSlam 2011, I just love watching that show back, because it brings back so many memories of trying to scramble to watch that show on a shitty-ass live stream, but it was so worth it, dude. So worth it. That show was just off the charts amazing. And then we get to SummerSlam 2012, which I think is, I've talked about that. I talked about that in the WrestleRam video that I put up on Tuesday. Kind of an underrated show. It wasn't amazing. I don't think it was as good as 2011 or 2013 or even 2014, rather, for that matter. But I think it was a really good show, in comparison to some of the earlier SummerSlams that were not all that great. It was a pretty solid card from start to finish. But anyway, as I mentioned, SummerSlam 2011 was the only SummerSlam I watched online on a shitty live stream and whatever. It's because the following year, after finding out from my friend in early 2012 that you can go to Buffalo Wild Wings and watch pay-per-views there for free, of course, with the purchase of food or whatever, you have to buy something. You can't just sit in there and watch the pay-per-view, but with admission, you can watch the pay-per-view for free. So I went there to go see Elimination Chamber 2012. I think I was on vacation at that time from school, so it kind of worked out perfectly. And then for SummerSlam, I was also I don't know if I was in the area. I think I had to kind of drive back and forth. I wasn't even close to a Buffalo Wild Wings at that point in time. But I was still on vacation from school, so I figured I'd go, and it was a really fun time. I thought it was a great experience, and I've talked about that also here on the channel before, about how Buffalo Wild Wings is the place to be for wrestling fans. I don't think they do that anymore. I called last year to watch Battleground there, and they said or at least the Buffalo Wild Wings that I usually go to here in the area where I live, they said they do not offer WWE pay-per-views anymore, probably because of the network and people are just watching it from home now, which is unfortunate. But yeah, that was a really, really good show, SummerSlam 2012, and I enjoyed watching that from the luxury of from the comfort of Buffalo Wild Wings, which was also the case the following year, which was we kind of did a 2-year thing where in 2012 we went there for Elimination Chamber and SummerSlam, and in 2013 I also went there for Elimination Chamber and SummerSlam, in addition to Survivor Series, which I, in retrospect, wish I had not done. That show was terrible. Probably my least favorite pay-per-view of all time. That show is just absolutely awful. Just ask John. He'll tell you the same exact thing. That horrendous main event between Big Show and Randy Orton. But as I mentioned, SummerSlam 2013 there. Once again, a very, very good show. I mean, that was another great summer in wrestling. But that show, you had Randy Orton cashing in Money in the Bank, Triple H's big heel turn, basically the birth of the Authority, and it's amazing that we have the Authority still to this day. Not amazing, but I think that's poor choice of words there, but we still have the Authority 2 years later in WWE. How crazy is that? They've lasted longer than the Nexus, the Shield, and the Wyatt family. I can't even believe it, but anyway, you had that. You had Del Rio and Christian. You had for the WWE title, John Cena and Daniel Bryan. And my favorite match from that year, my personal favorite match from 2013, CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar. Just a stacked show again from start to finish. Really, really enjoyed that show. And I just remember, I think that might have been the first pay-per-view I watched that I was not, the first show, the first WWE show or wrestling show, whatever, that I was not in attendance for, that I lost my voice during, which is crazy to think about. I think because I was going so crazy at the end of that pay-per-view with the whole cash-in and everything else going on. I was going so crazy at the end of that show that I had actually lost my voice while watching it on pay-per-view at Buffalo Wild Wings. How crazy is that? You can actually check out, interestingly enough, my live reaction to the events that closed out SummerSlam 2013 right here on the channel. I think it's under miscellaneous videos. I took a video on my phone, which I probably shouldn't have done, but I took a video of the whole ending of SummerSlam as it happened and the reaction from the people at Buffalo Wild Wings. It was absolutely incredible. I didn't think anything was going to happen. I just filmed the reaction to Daniel Bryan winning, and then everything else happened. I just go fucking nuts, So that was a great experience. But that was an amazing show. That again, and I have the DVD right here. I have the DVDs for SummerSlams 08, 09, 2011, and 2013. But that was a great show too. And then for SummerSlam 2014, once again I was away that day, but unlike the previous SummerSlams, I had come back in time for the pay-per-view. I mean, not intentionally, it just kind of happened that way. I had come back that afternoon. John invited me over to his house to watch a show. We watched it at his place, and again, a fantastic show. And, from start to finish, John Cena and Brock Lesnar. You had Stephanie McMahon versus Brie Bella, Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose. You had The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. A lot of good matches on that show. I'm actually in the midst of watching it right now to review it here for the channel, concluding my grand Wrestle Rant journey of reviewing every single installment of SummerSlam in history. That concludes tomorrow right here on the channel, so I'm in the midst of watching SummerSlam back from last year for the very first time since I watched it as it aired a little over a year ago. But that pay-per-view was great. Again, a very good summer in wrestling, but this summer I think I'd argue has been even better. I said this time and time again, I have been saying this time and time again, that 2015, when all is said and done by December 31st rather, it very well might be, it might very well go down as my as my favorite year in wrestling as a wrestling fan. This year has been incredible, and I'm looking forward to SummerSlam on Sunday, just 48 more hours until the biggest party of the summer. So with all that being said, guys, I will try to get some SummerSlam content up here in the channel. I mean, this whole week here on WrestleRant has been, the whole week on the channel has been dedicated to SummerSlam content. Hashtag AskJSM. You guys asked a lot of SummerSlam questions. I'm reviewing SummerSlams 2012, which is already up here from Tuesday. Tomorrow here on WrestleRant, this isn't WrestleRant, but here on the channel though, in WrestleRant, will be my review of SummerSlam 2014. Wednesday, Thursday, of course, this video blogging pertaining to my SummerSlam memories. But SummerSlam predictions on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for all 10 matches. In addition to this video blog, in addition to WrestleRant tomorrow, we still have got a number of videos to be uploaded, today, tomorrow, and Sunday. In regards, like I said, to our predictions from WrestleRant Radio, you can check out the whole episode on nextyearwrestling.net. But all the predictions will be up here on the channel in the days to come. And as I said at the start of the video, I will also be at NXT TakeOver on Saturday, also in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. So I'm really going to try to get some footage. I mean, my phone is so backed up. I have very little storage space. I went on a whole rampage of deleting shit on my phone last week to make room for video and for photos and stuff for the shows this weekend. So I'm going to try to get some videos, maybe on the road, while I'm on the train and interacting with some fans and stuff like that. But it's going to be great. It's going to be an amazing weekend. You know, as I've said before, SummerSlam weekend is always amazing. This year has been absolutely no exception. So therefore, I'm extremely excited for this weekend in wrestling. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. One historic weekend, to say the least. So if you'll be at NXT TakeOver or if you'll be at SummerSlam on Sunday, be sure to, if you find me, I'll probably be wearing, I think on Saturday I'll be wearing my Finn Balor t-shirt, because I'll be at NXT, he's the champ, so I'll be wearing my Finn Balor t-shirt. And then on Sunday I'll be wearing, a lot of people will be wearing that t-shirt, but on Sunday I'll be wearing my Suplex City, New York t-shirt. So if you find me, if you see me, be sure to say hi. I would love to talk to you guys if you'll be in the area for the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam 2015. So to end this 20-minute indulgent video, I apologize for rambling for nearly 20 minutes, but I love talking about SummerSlam, WWE, wrestling, and everything else. You guys know that if you've been a long-time watcher of the video blogs. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Enjoy SummerSlam weekend. I got a lot on tap. I will not be at the WWE live event tonight in Bridgeport. I couldn't get tickets, but you know, I'm content with going to TakeOver and SummerSlam. Are you shitting me? That's going to be amazing. So whether you're going to be in attendance or watching from home only on the WWE Network for $9.99, have a great weekend, folks. Enjoy SummerSlam. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and I'll catch you guys down the road.